I would like to recognize the person of Mr. Callistus, Ms. Macaulay, Mr. Wisdom, all from SPU Worry session. Thank you very much, Saz and Maz, for joining in. Promises that this will be an insightful session. Thank you for joining in. So yeah, my slides are up. Thank you very much, Williams. So without much further ado, I would like to call on the person of Abdulaziz Abdulatif, the Vice President of SP Abu Zaria Student Chapter, to introduce our wonderful guest speaker in the house. So Abdulaziz, if you can hear me, can you welcome and introduce our guest speaker? Thank you very much, Abdulaziz.
Thank you very much, Mr. Evans. Good evening, everyone. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Good evening. We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. So my name is Abdulaziz, and I am the Vice President of the SPE ABU Zaria chapter. Like the moderator have said, I'll be introducing our guest speaker for this evening session. Our guest speaker is Mrs. Francisca Igboa, alias Bizdeka. She's a business strategist, a developer, and connector. She is the Managing Director of Finding Design Enterprise and the founder of the Leo Jackson Foundation. Please, let's give her a round of applause as I continue to read the bio. She's the founder of Bizdeka Management Advertising Marketing Firm in Canada and Nigeria. Through her initiative called the Business Startup on web and social media community presence, she has trained over 14,000 youth on business skills. Mrs. Francisca developed an initiative in Nigeria in 2 different states, Lagos State and Delta State respectively, called the Youth Women Men Working with Wisdom Initiative Skills, where she trained 240 students and over 500 enterprise owners on skill acquisition training. She works as an advocate against child rape and violence against women in Nigeria. She's an AI expert and data analyst for business developers and owners. She has served as AI specialist research partner in New York University and other workshop stations in Canada for youth and working professionals. Mrs. Francisca is the author of the book 35 Keys for Business Startup and has written and published 3 ebooks on the relevance of present dynamism and change in the world generally. She was awarded by IESA International Education Summit 2020 as an outstanding teacher in Africa, nominated by the Institute of Management Consultants, IMC. She's presently a convener of the Business Experts Conference in Nigeria and manages a community of about 14,000 persons on Facebook. This is a very large number if you are familiar with Facebook. As a business strategist, developer, and connector, she's presently working with FCMB as a management consultant in developing technological and digital tool training to boost SME post-coronavirus setback. Mrs. Francisca is presently a member of several institutions recognized worldwide based on her influence and social impact globally. She's a member of the Institute of Management Consultant Specialists UK, Chartered Institute of Management Consultants Canada and USA, Center for Public Service and Productivity, Institute of Management Consultants Nigeria, African Institute of Public Administration, Certified Management Professional, member of the Worldwide Women Association, and founder of the Leo Jackson Kid Foundation. Please, let's welcome our amazing speaker with a round of applause, please. Let's welcome her with a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma.
Thank you for the introduction, the warm introduction. I really appreciate this. I don't know, can everyone hear me? Is my audio loud?
Loud and clear, we can hear you. Mr. Evans, I'll hand over to you, please.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, ma, we can hear you, ma. Loud and clear, ma.
Thank you. So, do you want me to go ahead? I would need to share my screen with the presentation. Is that okay?
Yes, ma, you can. I think the slides are down now. You can share yours now.
Okay, so. I want this to be left. Please, can you see the slide now?
Yes, ma, your slides are up.
But let me put it on a slide mode. I'll stop the share and try and have it on slide. Um, um, just a minute. Okay, so we have the slide up, and I hope everyone can hear me. I want to say thank you before I start. My name is Igba Francisca, we all know, and I want to say thank you to the SPE head section, Worry chapter, the chairman, the secretary, and everyone that has taken time to attend this brief session. Like we all know, we are going to be looking at um, storytelling, and basically as um, the lecture is based on AI-powered machine and brand messaging, practical and prompt LML. But I'm not just going to make it so serious. It's going to be interactive as we go on. And I want to say it's a pleasure to be here to have the sessions with everyone. Um, Please let me know if you can hear me probably by a reaction, just love emoji or anything, and we can take the session onwards. Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Ma, we can hear you, Ma. We can
Yes,
hear
ma'am, we
you.
can hear you.
Okay, so reactions will help me do better. I would appreciate some reactions where we go on. Okay, so basically, we're looking into storytelling, brand messages as an entrepreneur, and basically as we go on in our everyday life, what it just does for us is guide our initiative on how business goes. So we're going to look more into how you define your story based on your identity, your transformation, and your emotional relevance. A lot of people ask the question, why do you have your household called Bisteka? And that's because I can actually use my history previous to now to tell storytelling about why I have a brand name called Bisteka. So business and Indeka, I've been in business over decades till now. And I started my first business when I was 17. So that gave me a bridge to say, okay, I don't want my household name not to resonate with my personality. And that gave room to Bizdeka. If you look at the side, I have an image. The image is Bizdeka Vision 12 months roadmap into impact. It looks like an image, but once you see the image and you see the picture, I could actually say, okay, it's a movement that has to do with AI empowering for visionary women. So the picture alone tells a message. So as entrepreneurs, as professionals, as creators, as different people in the industry, you want to be able to tell your story by knowing exactly who you are, what you stand for, and who you are, what you stand for, what your solution matters drive are, what your audience represents, and the reason why AI is very important in modern story. The reason we're looking at why AI is really, really important in modern story is because the world is transitioning, and there is a level of speed that comes with you knowing exactly how to position yourself when you accelerate with AI. And every one of us, sometimes we think this AI is a strong buzzword. We're so caught up in it that it's more like, what's she talking about? So I want to actually have a lecture guide, and then we can as well do some few practicals. So it makes it more interesting that it's not just a talk, and we do not have opportunity to learn across board how to tell the stories. If you understand, a lot of brands have clarity. Now, that you can use what we call the language learning model. The language learning model are models like ChatGPT, Copilot. I don't know how many of you use ChatGPT +5, Bing's Copilot every day. I don't know if I can see reactions if we do that. Like it's something you use to guide your graphics, your storytelling, and all of that position. So if that's a thumb up, you can let me know so that we now take it on how you can now accelerate your machines by using clarity, creativity, consistency, and speed formats to use AI to accelerate your messaging. Now, let's talk about clarity. And clarity is where you don't use a lot of grammar when you're using your language model like ChatGPT. The question is, if you're not turning your ideas into a very simple narrative that the machine can work with, it's going to give you a more complex way to tell your stories with an AI machine. If you look at the side, you can actually see a Bisteca wheel of positive value for collaboration and partnership. If I zoom it in, you can see more of what we did here with the wheel of collaboration and partnership. There's integrity, there's resourcefulness, there is trust, there's respect, there's equality, there's inclusion, there's commitment, there is also the value at the end of the day. How did we do this? We would not have been able to structure this messaging to get as much view and analytic from people if we didn't have a way of making it very simple text that went into the AI machine to give us this real diagrams that we have on the right hand side of the slide. So that means clarity has to make sure that you understand the use of the words, and also you avoid very loud boost words that are going to give you grammatic error. So again, we go to creativity. One thing the AI machine will do for you, it's creative. But when it's creative, you have to look at a path where you turn your brand into a character. A lot of people understand that it is just a brand, or probably it is just a product, or probably it's just an organization. That is not exactly what it is. It's more like when you look at that structure of brand, organizations, products, and everything that you're going to talk about, you want to use emotions while you're giving the visual storytelling. So your emotion is transformed into that creative visual you want to give. If you look at this picture on the right hand side, it tells you the colors that is associated with the brand Beastaker. Bright colors, imaging, and from the tall look, you're like, oh, we're trying to build a house that can conform to everything in it. Because we know that building a brand takes a lot, like standing from the foundation to the top, and then you get to the higher pillars, and then you roof it off. So we told this wheel of positive value based on putting everything in a house, and that is creative. That is what we call like a metaphor that can tell your story. If you look at Nike, they just say, just do it. So you just have to buy the shoes like Nike because it's what presents athletes with looking how they want to look like. Let's go to the other part of consistency. There is the part where consistency gives you a flow of a story. Your story must encode from whatever touch point you're giving. You're trying to tell a story, you're consistent about your recognition and your credibility. Now, if I were to be put on a goose chase, B-Stecker, where is this name coming from? Go type it. Is she consistent with what she's doing? And remember, we are doing right now what we call digital social proofing. A lot of people don't think it's essential, but digital social proofing marks your consistency. It gives you like a tick. It's a good, 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 good. And so what happened? Any visual or information you're putting out into the public is a pillar. Now, what does it look like? If you go to my LinkedIn profile, over the past few days, that is this year, has a map of using what we call a consistent visual, and that cuts across all my social media pages. So that when you do that, you're building what we call recognition, you're building credibility, and the know KYC. You know me, you trust me, and then you can come back to me for more and more. What you want to do as an entrepreneur is able to sell what you're selling based on your brand story. There's going to be value if you remain consistent. Now, the other part is where we talk about the speed in your messaging. If your messaging is quite not meeting the sharp focus, why is this core idea going to be what I want to do? Okay, I want to go into I want to run a campaign. I want that campaign to identify my idea.
Which is one of these is impeachment by another arm of government, the judiciary, telling them,
Hello.
You understand?
Hello. Sorry. Can you hear me, everyone, please?
Yes, ma. Sorry about the interference, ma. Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay, it's okay. So while we go on, if you have tick for questions, please just write it somewhere or you put it in the comment section so that we do not miss while I am speaking about the topic. Now, going back to spear in messaging, if you cut through the speed, you produce content in a minute using the language learning model. Any of it, Gemini, Copilot, and all of that, like I said. And that speed is where you know that you have been able to deliver a sharp message that is having your clarity, your creativity, and the consistency where you want to patch that. So that works with everything you do on that branding. Now, let's move on to what we call the 5 pillars of AI powered brand story. As simple as we see them when I list them, it's quite a lot, but it's manageable when you're trying to tell your story using the language model. And you want to understand that it cuts across what we call the founder identity narrative, the audience emotional mapping, brand transformational promise, and signatory story framework. All of this is just used to enhance your visual and your expression. So I'm going to take it to the next slide where I am going to break this into original story, into the purpose point, into your mission and your value, and the unique differentiators when you're telling a story. Underneath, you see that I have put in a prompt that is going to be one of our practical exercise. And so what does the prompt say? Generate a foundry story of a Black woman entrepreneur, building an AI-powered branding agency, highlighting what we call resilience, innovation, and community impact. That's going to be one of our practical exercise today. But now let's talk about the originality of your story. How do you want to start with that? You establish what we call emotions that start from the core roots of your product, of your organization, and exactly how you hold people's spare band. Now, you have to start with what problem did you see that made you create that brand? that made you decide to go for that product. Share a personal moment that is not frustration for you, but more like an inspiration. Then you craft your purpose, and then it becomes a turning point to stating what your mission and your value is. So I'm going to tell you one original craft from this. I was a young girl at 17, and in my year 2 in the university, I looked at everything around me. The best thing for me to do was craft a way to make money for myself and still concentrate on my studies. Now, I'm telling you a core root story, and then you break into something that can build relevance. At that point, I thought it was wise for me to start a business because I was looking at the future after school, what's going to be my next step. And that leads me to purpose. I will go beyond that first highlight. And then I'll talk about the purpose that become profit for me. The reason why I decided to start that business at 17 and transform it to be an emotional relevant will now become my purpose. Now, I can tell my story further by saying I broke free from what we call poverty because I started developing my independency at a very early age. Now, I might decide to talk about what business I did at the age of 17. Now, I'm doing this after how many years? Probably like this part of my life. And I'm trying to get my audience into a deeper purpose to reason with me why I'm the best person for them to come to be their business coach. Now, that is an emotional path where you tell a story to carve the net of somebody to come to you as the turning point. At that point, is no drama. I'm just trying to describe the crisis, the breakthrough, and revelation to why I am not going to be a failed project if you want to invest in me as your business coach. Now, when you get your turning point there, you have what we call the emotional trigger. You've taken somebody from point A to point D to actually see you beyond what they look at. And that is where it comes to. Did you get your mission? Did you get your value? And did they see your messaging as a drop point to say, okay, yes. The final point, of course, is that I'm going to train as much as 5,000 women with legal points to buy from me. So then you've sold integrity, you've sold courage, and you've created something out of a founder identity narrative. How many of us have gone to a store to probably want to buy these glasses? And when you got to the store, you looked at the glasses. Oh my God, it doesn't have a name. It's pretty. But the pain point at that time might be, no, I cannot afford it. And probably you dropped the glasses, you did not buy it. But again, imagine that I now put out a message and I want to drag you up to say, okay, these glasses, you left it. And then the message pops up. I started selling these glasses. It's clear glasses, it's fashionable, it has no designer label, and you've done what? You put your brand movement there. Now, you're trying to put purpose in it. I believe that the purpose why these glasses will be good enough is it just represents what we call no brand name, it's cheap and it's affordable. That is your purpose. Cost effective. Now, at some point, hello, are we there? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, ma, we're with you, ma.
Okay, sorry. So that is where we now look at the emotional path where you drive the pain point. Your product or your brand or organization becomes a desire. And then you look at the part where it's not just desirable. You add the cultural context to say, oh, this glasses is fashionable. At that time, you're using the words, you're using the language pattern, you're using the emotions, and then you're analyzing how they can come to you to actually see that you've been able to address the pain points, making it cheap enough for them to buy. You've been able to look at the desire. They see it, they understand that it's showing you for fashion, and then you want to have it. At some other point, you're not discouraged anytime you're trying to sell it. But then your language pattern would only drive more people to you because you're telling a story that matches the entrepreneurs to look you up for more. Then what are we going to do? You analyze where you can put a prompt that gives the emotion, and you're using the right words to make that prompt happens with your language model. Let's see what it is. Analyze the emotional motivations for a first-time woman entrepreneur in Canada starting service-based business. If I want to talk about myself, I'm going to say, analyze the emotional motivation as B-Stacker, who owns the company in Canada, starting this business that has to do with campaign branding, that has to do with product diversification, and also training. And I put my prompt in the bracket. If I send that prompt out, I'm going to have what we call an emotional mapping message that I can sell. The next one is talking about the brand transformation promise. The brand transformation promise is the shift of what it was before and after you told a story. So what is the outcome going to look like? Is it going to be a part where people are emotionally connected? So let's give point A to point D. At the heart of the storytelling, is he able to define that before you told the story and after you told the story, there was an emotional shift from point A to point D? And most times you can actually create a follow-up statement that becomes your third pillar with a language learning model. Like I said, any of them you use is okay. Sorry, excuse me. So we're going to look at the point where we are going to talk about the after, the emotional shift, and the tangible income. What does that represent? Before I started telling the story, I started with the time, the age, the reason, the origin, and what I was going to do. And then I moved on to the brand story. And the brand story was when I used those product glasses as an example, right? Now, the tangible outcome is that you're either going to find out that people are going to draw more traffic to your algorithm. Now, let me talk about algorithm very few. Your language model, once it shoots the message out, and you look at probably, I will use one place, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all of the socials give you algorithms to know exactly how many numbers of people checked your posts. You can go find to check the demographics, where these people are. You can also check the locations of where they checked for this messaging. And also, you can also know the age brackets. I don't know how many of us use that, but it works a lot. It makes you have less issues to know who your target audience are. So if your target is between 24 to 65 and they keep on showing up, you now have to work on their emotional resonance to cut into where your story starts from and to the end. Pillar number 4, signature, story framework. Now, I have a way I draft the stories. You might have another way you draft your story, but remember, because you're using an AI-powered machinery, you want to understand that it's going to be between a problem and a solution. And a strong brand would follow a structure. Now, from when we started from pillar 1 to 3, you can pick up all the identity mark frames that will make your story more interesting. Now at signature 4, by the time you've told stories that much, you understand that the problem is based on what the struggle is. If you now find out that after your logarithm time and everything, and the age bracket, the age gap and everything, you want to look on how to restructure the struggle. The struggle is knowing that you understand your demographic, the age, and everybody that resonates emotionally with what they're buying. Let's give an instance. Between the age of 18 to 25, they are more welcoming to saying, okay, we can accept this brand. Between the age of 25 to 45, they may have a withdrawal. No, I consciously cannot just buy on a take. I have to go back and rethink if I really want to buy this product. At that point, you have the insight to know who exactly you will be speaking to. At that point, your solution is to build your messaging to fit in to the demographics of the people that is going to be ready to buy from you. So at that point in time, any video you're putting, any verbal expression, brand voice development, your mock board, your speech board, your storytelling, you're trying to make probably animation character, you're looking at videographies, you're looking at these things that match up with the age brackets that you want to buy from you. So, one question I want to ask, if I have to ask the question right now, from the top of when we've been speaking on, what is going to be your best mode of storytelling? Are you going to be attracted to videos? Do you think you can use music as a point of communication when you're telling a story? Do you want to use mock boards, or do you want to just use more of the social media narrative from pillar 1 to pillar 5? And then can you actually say my customer journey script can be mapped out from what we've spoken about? If that is what you're looking at, you can actually put that so that we see, you can put that on the chat box so that we see what it is when we wrap up. Oh, so we are going to move to this. And why did I talk about AI science for brand? Because I'm speaking to petroleum engineers. Oh my God, sorry. Sorry, just give me a minute. Sorry, my battery. I thought it just plugged. My apologies, please. Hello.
It's no problem, ma. It's no problem, ma.
About that. Okay, so for AI science for brand, I specifically had to take the practical prompt sign. And I will tell you, every messaging you put into a language model is of great use. So you can see that I put the plus sign, the minus sign, the multiplication sign, the division sign. Now, why did I put this practical prompt sign? If you're building a house or you're trying to probably build a foundation, now you want to make your message easy. So I'll give you an insight. Now, I want to build a house that is going to have a flip window, that is going to have a rooftop that has an open cavity. Now, these are just imaginary, but when you're trying to put the language model into the machine, what you want to do is, I am building a house. In quotes, you could put a bracket. You could put the plus sign. That's what the plus sign is used. I am building a house plus an underground cavity. You put the plus sign. And then you put the underground cavity in brackets. Now you move on again to say, my underground cavity is going to have a driveway. and a step over minus the parking lot. Now, you're using that as a sign to make you have a proper definition prompt in your language model. You can also use multiplication when you want to add up a lot of futures probably inside a house that you're designing. Now you're using this probably with a designing a language model, which I'm going to do a little bit of that practical, right? And when you use the multiplication, it's more like you might not use the multiplication sign, but we have what we call the asterisks. Asterisks are also multiplication sign in the language model. That is what we use. So I had to put these significantly so that as engineers, as contractors who is ready to build something different from the unusual, you're able to use your sign for brand message and create projects that would work for you. Going forward, we're going to have practical sections, and then I might have to um, switch in between the sharing. At this point, I would want to take about questions for about 5 minutes before we go into the practical sessions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. It has been insightful. So before we move on, I don't know if any one of us has questions. You can put them in the chat box, and you can raise your hands. I'll call you, and you're mute and speak. So please, if we have questions for our speaker, I believe the session has been really insightful, and we are curious. There are some questions we have. So please, if you have questions, please do well to put them in the chat box or raise your hand. Okay, I'm going to the chat box. Okay, so if you have questions, I'll be here to take them. So our speaker is here to take them. So let's turn in our questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, moderator, would you be able to take the questions? Then I just respond if there are questions in the chat box because I have a full screen.
Yes, ma. I'll read them out. I'll read them out.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Can't find any question yet. I want to believe that means the lecture was as clear as possible, and okay, I think I have a question, Ma. Can you hear me, Ma? I think I have a question. Don't know. Sorry, Ma, can you hear me? Okay, I believe, okay, yeah. So, my question, okay, my question is, how can we balance originality now when using these AI tools? I believe we've tried to put emotions.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
All right, I think it's a lag. I don't know if it's from my end. So my question is the originality. My okay. I think our speaker is experiencing some network issues, some internet glitches. Okay, she's back, Ma. Can you hear me, Ma? You are muted, ma.
Sorry, I can hear you. Sorry, I think I went in and out.
Yes, ma. Okay. So, yes, ma. My question is about originality. You've clearly stated some tools to use when it comes to working with these AI tools. For instance, emotions, signature story. But there is this I don't know, for Nigerian employers, or if for Nigerian employers, they they would always specify, some would specify don't use AI, some would specify you can use AI but be original. So like how can we balance this originality when it comes to our brand, or when we are working for someone? Maybe we are not entrepreneurs in this case now, but maybe we are working for someone. How do we try to balance this originality? Um, so that's it, ma.
Okay, so I got the question right. And the truth is that a lot of employees are yet to understand the use of AI and depict that it is okay to use AI fundamentally. But I say a lot of times that what AI has done is just artificial intelligence. We have what we call the human mind intelligence, which is the personal intelligence of this personality. And so that's called what we call language pattern. You first have to write your language by extracting it, by personalizing it, using what we call the visionary aspect of writing that core message by yourself. Now, when you're done writing the core message by yourself, remember there is what we call original phrasing. The AI would automatically understand, especially for some of us that would prefer to use Gemini other than using ChatGPT. They already understand the way you speak. They already understand the way you draft your message pattern. So, what is going to happen when you generate that message based on your core language pattern is now your human definition of intelligence. And all you have to do is impact that into the AI machine. And also, while you're putting the message into the machine, we have what we call there's a way you create your, so you use create, you use generate, you use those kind of metaphor. So the metaphor is probably generate or create a message for me. Write the message keeping my original pattern of message structure. That is the first line you put in your AI machine before you put what we call the apostrophe mark as the prompt string. It is called either you use that or you use a bracket. Now, when you're putting the brackets, you now put your own messaging inside that bracket. You close it up. Remember, we already said create and generate for me messaging that is going to keep my originality as what I am putting out, that original part of your first line. When you close the brackets, you're going to now say, write for me. You're telling the machine to actually just improve your first level of human intelligence that you've put in. And so the message AI is just going to be your amplifier. It's not giving you everything firsthand. So at that time, anyone that wants to test your alterations or whatever you've put, they will test the variation pattern of your message if it was essence of what you did by yourself. It will also They would also test the version of how you put the message. But again, there are also other software that after AI writes for you, your human intelligence is going to be humanized. So I don't know how many of us have heard of that software, but the software would actually humanize the integral part of what AI machine has done for you. So I don't know if that answers the question. Thank you.
It did, ma. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much, ma, for that explanatory response. Thank you very much. So I've been told we can continue with the practical section because we still have a proper question and answer session, a time allotted to take question and answer. So we can just go on with the practical session. Thank you very much, Ma.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to share my screen, and I would share my screen to actually copy some of these prompts. We have our first practical workshop prompt, and that is the storytelling by identity. And so the first one is the pillar one, which I told you about. So we're going to actually, I want to copy this from here. I hope I'm able to do that. Yes, so I want us to have, it's supposed to give me that access to, okay. Let me see. If I take it up from here, it should give me, okay. Okay, so I'm just going to close this, and we'll have to, I have my phone here. So let me see. Where do we have it now? Okay, sure. Okay, so we have here we have different tools. We have Bings, we have the AI, the LST AI video, we have Suno AI, and Bings is for us to create the, if, sorry, let me, okay. So for every of us that has ChatGPT, that has Copilot, that has Bings, that has Gemini, we want to actually be able to tell our information using the pillars that we talked about earlier today. And this is because I want us to have an understanding about how prompts are being written to give us the part of emotional storytelling. So I'm doing this as a practical session, and I want to make us understand that once your language model opens, it gives you this part of the message Copilot, just where you have your cousin. And if you go more to look at this, so for some of us who don't know about Bings or Copilot, it always comes with your phone, but you have to open what we call a Microsoft account to have the Microsoft Bings Copilot to initiate anything you're doing. And so if you don't have that, you can download that quickly, or you can just open any of your chat machine. Now, if we look at this, we have what we call the SMART GPT 5.1. We have the next one when it says it can actually think deeper for you, and it could do study and learn and search. So if your SMART does not give you what you want, you can decide to say the SMART should think deeper for you. But we are just going to leave it at the SMART. And I want to put in the prompt now. If I have to put in this prompt, remember I said there's something called the apostrophe. This is the apostrophe marks that starts any prompt for you. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to remove the prompt first, because I want to make you understand the part where I said there's a word called generate, right? And there's a word called create. So we're going to switch in between generate and create. Now I want to write here generate generate for me generate for me for me a story. A story. Now, I've said generate for me a story. I didn't say design. I didn't use the word create. If you use the word design, it will actually design something for you, but not create a story. So now, if you use the word create, it will create something.
Apologies, everyone. We just lost our speaker, but she will be joining us shortly. That was just a network glitch. All right, please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can
Alright.
hear you, Sheila, Miss Sheila.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Well done, everyone. I'm sure that we've been learning one and two from this lecture. But just like she said, if you have any question, because of the sake of time, please drop it on the chat box. If you have any question for our speaker, please drop it on the chat box. We might not have time to have a
I think,
separate question and answer session. All right, she's back.
sorry, can you hear me, Julia?
Yes, we can.
My network is going in and out. We had a snowstorm. I don't know if it's still going on, but I'm pleased. Helena? Hello?
Yeah, we can
Hello.
hear you.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
ma.
up.
Okay, so generate for me a storyline, and we now have to put the apostrophe mark that I spoke to you about. You can use this, or you can use a bracket, either one of them. So we're using the string for, and it does the magic. So let me go back and use the string. So I'm going to quickly write the prompt there. It says, sorry, I have my phone. Story, the story of, sorry, storyline. Where's the prompt again? A Black woman. A Black woman entrepreneur building an AI powered branding agency. We're going to also highlight. So when you want to do the highlight, you're going to put like a string and write highlight. Now for us, highlight is we want to actually highlight some pinpoints. And the pinpoints we're highlighting, remember we talked about it, is her resilience, right? And when you're putting the resilience, you also put the resilience in a prompt guide, and then you put a comma. We want to now talk about her power, which is the innovation. You put a prompt again, and you put the innovation. Okay, so doing this is to give you the specifics we talked about on clarity. And so you put the prompt, the prompt again, and you put the comma, you put the string and the comma. And the last one is community impact. You put the string again, and you put what we call community impact. So you've been able to dissect your message to give you clarity. And this is where you close it with a prompt, you put a full stop, and you send it to the machine. Now, it's very simple. It's going to build this for you just the way you want it. So it gives you the storyline is the architect of tomorrow. It gives you a team. If you want to change it, it's fine. And then it gives you Act 1. Act 1 is the resilience. It gives you Act 2, innovation.
Sorry, Ma, I think we're still losing you. I don't know if it's from my end.
No, it's not from your end. I think her bandwidth is low.
Yeah, it's a general problem from my end.
Yes. Miss Francisca, please, could you try rejoining? I don't know if you can hear us. Please, could you try rejoining? Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Apologies, everyone, for that. You know how the network is. But we'll be back shortly. Just in the meantime, please, if you have any questions that you would like to ask her, please, you can drop it on the chat box. All right, it's good to have you back, Miss Francisca. Please go ahead. You are muted. You're muted.
I was trying to see if I can change the network, but I don't want to break our communication process. Um, so, let me see. Okay, so can I share my screen? Someone was going to say something. Please, can I get that information out? Hello?
Not really, Ma. We're just calling due to the network issues. Not really, Ma. You can go on, Ma.
Oh, where? Okay. Hello?
Yes, Ma, we can
Okay,
hear you,
but
Ma.
can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
No, Ma.
Can you see my screen, please? Can
No,
you
Ma.
see my screen? You can't see my
No, Ma.
screen?
No,
No.
we can't see your screen. No.
Okay, let me stop the share. And
Because of the sake of time, you're muted. You're
hello?
muted, Miss Yes, you're
Hello?
muted. Yes, you can go on. For the sake of time, please. I know you have a lot to give to us. Please, we could just take a maximum of 10 minutes more. 10
Okay,
minutes.
that's fine.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so is a screen can you see the screen now? I'm doing a screen sharing.
Yes, it's
Yes,
up.
Ma, we can see your screen.
Okay. So I'm quickly going to copy this so that I can quickly do the parts of the videography. And so it just makes it easier. Copy. Where's my screen? Oh, good. I should be able to copy with this. Probably I just take Act 1. Sorry, there should be a copy mark where I can, okay, so I copy from here. And I'm going to open what we call the LST Studio. Can you see the LST Studio?
Yes, ma.
Hello? Okay, so this is called the LTS Studio AI. Can we all see the zebra?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so with the LS Studio, what I want to do is just create a visual, we're just going to create what we call generating a video to match what we have done. Okay, and when I'm going to put the information we have here, it's going to help us generate, I don't want us to do too much, generate your video. And I come here, I've used it before, but if you want to do this, you have to control paste. So we can see that we have put in the information there. The information might not give us everything, but again, what I want to do is we are supposed to edit this a little. I'm just going to take the end part of the notes, the ending part of the footnotes, so it doesn't generate our video to that point. The end part was just a footnote that's finished up the message for us. And we take it to this point. Okay, so we stop here. So what we're going to do is add this.
Ma, I don't know if it's just me, Miss Francisca, but your network is still we're still struggling and would really want to know this. So I don't know if you can hear me. I would suggest maybe you try another network. So that but in the meantime we could move on and then come back to this so that we could really get something. Can you hear me? Miss Francisca, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear
we can
you.
hear you. We can hear you.
All right.
Yes,
So
we
I would
can
like
hear
us to move on, and so when she comes back, would continue. Please keep the question coming in. I have seen one question from Ayomide. Evans, please over to you. Please just go on, and once she comes back, would continue.
So what I did, I just changed my network. Can you hear me now?
Okay, fine, good. If you
Yes,
say
so
ma.
I have,
It's much better now.
okay,
all
so I
right.
have a different network. Let's quickly run through this. I'm sorry about it. Go back to the,
Okay, Miss Francisca, can you hear me? Miss Francisca, can you hear me? Hello, Miss Francisca, can you hear me? All right, please, can we move on? Like, can we take the announcement? And Evans, please call up the person to take the announcement. And
Yes,
so when she,
yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
okay,
me?
yes,
Yes.
I can hear you, but the network still keeps breaking. I don't know if you could change your network, but in the meantime, so that we could continue and come back.
Okay, but can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, the screen is up.
Okay, what do you see? What's your story? I just want to wrap
Oh,
this up quickly. because this is the last part of the practical and we are done. I'm just teaching how you can create your videography with your storyline and using this as the machine. So I'm going to just copy this here so that we understand how it works. Sorry. We already. And so. You have to go back to what's right there. Okay. So we have our story made already. And I don't know if we can see it. This is it. That's the image we imputed. This is the storyline, and we send out. So it has given us different part of it. And let's preview what it is. Very standard. Okay, so it shows not enough credits, but this is what happened. It will actually generate we took an image, it's going to generate a story based on this background, and probably I can send that later on. But this is what the LST Studio does. It takes the motion picture, it takes the storyline, and then it creates a visual for you. So as you load more credits on the LST Studio, it cannot give you a video to back up because it says you're running out of credit and it cannot give me the full story. But that is how it works, and it improves your storyline to a video from an image. Thank you. Hello.
Thank you very much, Ma. Yes, Ma. Thank you very much, Ma. It's really an insightful one. Though we are running out of time, so we'll just take questions. We'll take questions. So before we move on to the next item. So I have a question on the chat box here by Ayomide. He said, thank you very much, Ma, for the wonderful presentation so far. The LTX Studio is also an AI-powered app. How do we actually get to know these apps? So I don't know, Ma, if you can list out some of these AI-powered tools, these machines that we can use for brand and storytelling, so we can just take note of them. So I believe that's what Ayomide is asking for. Thank you very much, Ma.
Okay, so thank you too. So like you can use the LTS for videos. You can actually use it to rebrand your story. Then for co-pilots, the Bings we open now to have that storyline. Bings has what we call designer installed in it. So when you open Bings, always try to check for the designer plugin. Just put designer plugin, it's going to come out. You're also going to create another account for designer plugin. So designer plugin would help you create perfect graphics and perfect imaging. Now, for ChatGPT and Copilot can actually help you also design, but you're going to use the word design and not generate. You're going to use the word create and design for me so that you have perfect imaging. But once it tells you I'm not going to design, all you have to do is download what you call the designer. Then we have what we call Sunyo AI. Sunyo AI is actually for music, but if you want to tell a deepic story and you just want Suno AI to draft the musical part of the story, you create Suno AI. You just take, like, you see the way I just copied the prompt, you put it into Suno AI and say, give me a soundtrack on this, it's going to create that for you. And then we have Gemini. Gemini does a lot of animation, and it does a lot of pictures and all of that. All you have to do is know how to use your prompt, using the strings and using the comma and using the bracket. It just helps you identify whatever you're building. Thank you. I might send a list of that during, probably with the email, and then they can send to everyone too. Thank you.
All right, that would be lovely, ma. Thank you very much, ma. Yes, so there is, okay, there is another question here on the chat box. How does Copilot compare with ChatGPT in the development of stories? Also in image generation, how does it compare with Gemini? So, which do you recommend for what and what?
So Gemini has features that would say you have to. Gemini will give you better prompts when you're using a pro version, because they want to sell the pro version. But the Microsoft Copilot actually can enable you use the free version if you're able to give adequate prompts that can run on that machine, and you still get the best of your picture quality. And so for me, I've used Microsoft Copilot more than I use Gemini, because Copilot, what it does, it retains your emotions, it retains your draft, and it just keeps from where it stops and follow through. Gemini actually does the same, but could miss your numbers, your information, if you do not use the pro version. So I'm not going to give a stake on don't use this, don't use that. But I'm just telling you, if you want to save more money, you can actually use Copilot more to give you more efficiency. Thank you.
All right, ma. Thank you very much, ma. I believe that comparison is clear. I don't know if I missed the end, but I think Madam Magdalene, I don't know if you have a question for the guest speaker.
She already dropped hers on the chat box and you've taken it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's already taken. Thank you. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you,
very insightful. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, and there we have it. Thank you very much, Ma. Like I said, it's really an insightful session. I believe myself and the other participants on this call has been enlightened on how we can use AI in our storytelling, how we can use the pillars, the founder's identity narrative, the brand transformation promise, your signature story, all of those things. We would use it in better telling our stories in our brand and entrepreneurship journey. And we really want to say thank you. Can we just send in our reactions to say thank you to our guest speaker in person of Madam Francisca? Can we send in our reactions to say thank you? Thank you very, very much, Ma. We really appreciate it.
Everyone, I appreciate it. It was a great time here. And I must say, I had a great time too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. So before, I don't know if the slides are coming up, but we want to quickly take our photograph session. So if we are in a good location, so can we just turn on our cameras and our videos? Want to see those beautiful, handsome faces that is joining us this evening. I can see Abdulaziz, I can see Akinwale, I can see our guest speaker, obviously. So can we just turn our videos? I think mine is yet to come up. Okay. Yeah, keep it coming, keep it coming. I can see Sodiq, I can see Ayomide, keep it coming. So we are going to do the SP thumbs up. So I'll give the signal, then I take the snapshot. So you can give the SP thumbs up. So what's the call now? SP Solutions People Energy. I believe that works. Okay, cleaner energy. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let's
clean
just give
energy.
the thumbs up. SPE, cleaner
Cleaner energy.
energy. Okay.
No,
Let me
SP
put it.
Solution People's Energy.
Wow.
Solution People's Energy.
Okay, solution people's energy.
Solution,
Oh,
SPE, Solution People Energy. Okay. SPE,
Solution people energy.
all right, that's the one. Thank you very
Have we
much.
got all right? I've gotten a good one then.
Dove. Okay, let's go again. Let's go again. Okay.
Okay, sorry, I think I've captured everyone. No, thank you.
One. Okay, okay. Let me just take this. All right. Thank you everyone. It's nice to see our faces. It's nice to see the handsome and beautiful ladies and gentlemen that joined us for this event. And I believe we are inspired, we are insightful. We've learned a lot from this session. So moving on, we'll try to play a game. So I believe most of us here are familiar with Slido or Slido rather. So we'll try to play a game to just see if how much have we gained from this session. It's just like a feedback session. And there are prizes for the winners. And yeah, I would like to call on Mr. William Okon, the a YP from SP Worry session to handle this Slido for this session. Mr. William, the floor is yours. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you very much. Please confirm you can hear me. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. We can hear you, sir.
All right, I'll be sharing the Slido link, and I'd like us to join in quickly as we take our Slido quiz. Okay, I've shared the link on the chat room, so we can all join. We can all do well to participate. I think prizes to be won. So represent your chapter, represent your school, represent yourself.
Yeah, please let's join in. I don't know, sir, Mr. Williams, can the moderator, can the moderator to join in? Or
They are
we need
free.
to restrict some persons. We need
They
to
are free
restrict some
to.
persons from joining in.
They are free to join in. At least you've not
All
Sure,
seen
right,
my
you can
question.
join. Sure, you can join. Everyone
all,
can join.
all right, all right, all right. So let's go win the prizes.
Please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see
Affirmative.
your screen.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. So currently we have just, I think, 4 people. Can we have more numbers, please? I'll give 1 minute. I think, yeah, by 6:41, if we don't have more than this, we can go ahead. Yeah, more participants for the Slido. Trust me, it's going to be interesting. There are prizes to be won, and you'd learn a lot. And this session would help you know what you do not know. All right, this is 6:41. In the next 10 seconds, we will begin. Thank you very much. More numbers. All right, that's amazing. Okay, in the next 5 seconds, we will begin. Okay, in 2 seconds, we commence. 1 minute, please. Okay. So we start. First question, what planet rains diamonds? What planet rains diamonds? All right. We have Uranus. 33% of our participants got that. Thank you very much. So what's our leaderboard like? All right, next question, please. The Mariana Trench is formed mainly by, is it volcanic activities? Is it subduction? Is it transform fault? Or what's the answer? So the correct answer is subduction. So 60% got that right. What's our leaderboard like? So topping the chart is Happy Emmanuel, followed by AF and Juma. Thank you very much. Next question. AI learns in the same way the human brain does. Is it true or is it false? AI learns in the same way the human brain does. Okay, what's the correct answer? 20% got that correctly. What's the chatbot, the leaderboard like? Happy Man was still topping, AF second, and Juma third. Next question. Which statement is not true? Jupiter has the shortest day. The outer core of the Earth is responsible for the magnetic field. Venus is colder compared to Mercury. And we have Venus is colder compared to Mercury is not correct because Mercury is colder compared to Venus. Thank you very much. Our leaderboard, AF topping the chart, the leaderboard, Happy Manuel second and Jima third. The Earth is closer to the Sun in January than in July. Is this statement true or false? The Earth is closer to the Sun in January than in July. What's the answer? Correct answer, true. That's very true. The Earth is closer to the Sun in January than in July. Our leaderboard, AF on top, Happy Manuel and Juma. So next we have, what key advantage does AI bring to brand storytelling for entrepreneurs? What key advantage? Correct, very correct answers only. Yep, the most correct answer. So what's the answer? Enhancing consistency, speed, and personalization of stories. Thank you very much. Everybody got that. So our leaderboard still remains the same. Next question. Why is brand storytelling described as no longer optional in today's landscape? Why is it described as no longer optional in today's landscape? Anyone with the correct answer? All right, and the answer is because digital competition demands clear value communication. 75% of participants got that. So, AF topping, wow, Juma second and Happy Manuel third. So we go ahead. Which of these is not a pillar of AI-powered brand storytelling? Which of these is not a pillar of AI-powered brand storytelling? All right, so what's the correct answer? Origin of the story. Thank you very much. 33% of our participants that paid attention got that correct. Thank you very much. And AF on top, Juma second, and Happy third. So we look at the next question. I think this is the last question. Oh, which of the pillars is described as the heart of your storytelling? Which of these, if you paid attention, I think our speaker mentioned this, and the answer is brand transformation promise. Oh, only 33% of our participants got that correct. Thank you very much. Leaderboard still remains the same. Okay, the last but not the least. A strong brand story follows a structure. Which of these comes first? A strong brand story follows a structure. Which of these comes first? All right. Is it insight? Is it solution or struggle? Now let's see the struggle. Thank you very much. And now we've come to the end of this. AF first, Juma second, and Happy Manuel third. Thank you very much for the time. See you guys next time.
Thank you very much, everyone that participated, and thank you, our quizmaster. Congrats to the winners. Yeah, we are running out of time. So moving on, I would like to call on Mohammed Tahiru, the head of volunteers, SP Abu Zaria student chapter, for the announcement. So Mohammed, quickly, can you give us the announcement? And then Mrs. Juliana OJ will take up the membership drive.
All right,
So
thank you, Mr.
Mohammed, if you
Evans.
can hear me.
Yes, please, can you hear me? Mr. Evans, please
Yes, we
confirm if you
can
can
hear
hear me.
you.
All right, the
We can
SP
hear
work
you.
section. Okay, we have two announcements, and the announcement at the SP work section have two upcoming ambassador lecture program. The first season is titled "How to Build Strong Application, Perform Well in Interviews, and Handle the Waiting Period." This season will hold on Thursday, 22nd January 2026 by 5:00 p.m. And the second season focused on personal branding and professional reputation for engineers. It is scheduled for Saturday, 31st January 2026, also by 5:00 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Mrs. Juliana, please, the membership drive. Can you quickly undo the membership drive? Thank you very much. Miss Juliana, I'm sorry, can you hear me? Sorry, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
I
hear
can
you.
hear
We can hear you loud and clear.
you.
All right, thank you. I don't know why Miss Juliana is not coming up. Please,
Can you hear me? Confirm you can
since
hear me,
she's
please.
experiencing network issues on her end, I don't know if the membership.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Can
you.
anyone hear me? All right,
Yes.
sorry. I didn't even know I was lost for a second. All right. So I said before I just take the membership drive, I would like to appreciate our speaker, our guest lecturer for today, Ms. Francisca. She's from the section. Thank you for us to give this lecture and for giving us a very educative lecture. Also, I would like to recognize the presence of our immediate past section chair. He has been with us on the call, the person of Dr. Eddie Oko. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate your support. All right. And also to all the teams that we've brought in for this program. Thank you so, so much. Okay, I just want to take the membership drive. Just in case you are wondering where are you, maybe your friend sent you this flyer to join this program. You are in the right place. This is SPA, and this is SP section 104 Worry. And I would like you to know that you can join us, you can become one of us. And how do you become a member, right? I will drop a link on the chat box. When you're a member, there are lots of exciting opportunities that you can gain being an SPE member. One is that you get first-hand information, internship, career information, mentorship program. You will get access to first-class senior professionals in the industry that can guide you, right? You have access to our vast technical and professional resources like this, just like this program that you've experienced. You network with industry leaders, and there's so much more, right? Also, if you remember, this is January, and also this is a call sign for you to renew your membership subscription, right? There's a link. I would drop a link on the chat box for old members. Please, this is a call, a reminder. For existing members, the sum you have to pay is 54,215 naira, right? While for new members is 61,215 naira. Please, let's try to renew our membership subscription, and it's a good thing. It's going to run for the year. So when you pay this money, you get to enjoy exciting opportunities. All right, thank you very much. Thank you to my team, to the chapters we collaborated with, to Madam Mandali. Umwa, our section director. She has been with us on the course. She has been so supportive of this program. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you to all the universities presidents that we collaborated with, UI, Unilag, ABU Zara. Thank you so much. I love your energy. Thank you so much to my team, my slide deck team, my graphics designer, Callistus, Favor, William, Macaulay. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Indeed, without me, they cannot be you. And thank you for doing this with SPE. All right. Thank you. And over to you, Evans.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. I believe we've come to the end of this program, and I want to say thank you, everyone. Our guest speaker, to our distinguished section director that was able to join us this evening, to every one of us, every participant. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I believe we are going home enlightened, better, more learned than we used to be. So thank you, everyone. Like I said, like Ms. Juliana said, SP is really that home for opportunities like this, for session like this. So till we meet again, I guess. Yeah. So till we meet again, I remain Everett Evans, and thank you everyone for joining in. To have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Hi, good evening. Evans, can you see my screen? All right, good evening. Bye, everyone. Good night.